As part of my role and my remit, I'm very experienced in working with families, how to talk to somebody who's got a psychosis, how to problem solve some of the problems you're encountering, how to actually deal with the crisis, and also thinking about how to deal with the mental health service maze that you'll find yourself in. When somebody's becoming much more acutely unwell, what we forget to do is that we can't necessarily communicate lots and lots of information. If you've got a lot of things going on in your head and somebody's then giving you a lot of information from outside, it can actually become overwhelming. So the important thing is to try and keep it as simple and as direct and with a proper meaning, so that you're not giving inauthentic feedback. And the art of good communication actually reduces people's stress levels, which we know has a fantastic effect on the household, and we then know that research gives us that evidence to suggest that the calmer the atmosphere, the more likely people are going to recover. I think there's something around, for brothers and sisters particularly, you're in a really, really unique situation in that you aren't as close as your parents will be. And often if you have a young brother or sister, your parents will be becoming slightly intrusive, and there may well be an opportunity to think, how could I help as a sibling? You'll find that you'll actually be able to potentially get through to your brother or your sister in a way that perhaps your parents can't. The first and foremost is don't be frightened. You're not alone. There's lots of other people out there. We know statistically you are definitely not alone. There are a lot of people in this country who are brothers and sisters who are going through the same thing. I would first and foremost is be aware of that, and be aware of how sometimes you can, if you're very worried about something, that your tone of voice can change. You can change the style in which you talk to that person. Practice doing that. Talk to other friends and family about how to do it. Listen to how other people talk to your sibling, and think, do I like the way they've done it? Are they talking to them a bit like they were in the hairdressers? You know, that, would you put your head on one side for me? That horrible sort of infantilisation, or sort of talking to them as though they're not there. People, just because they've had a psychotic experience doesn't mean to say they've become inferior, and often you can change your tone of voice unwittingly and make people feel much smaller than they really are. And likewise, if you have a psychosis, that often you can say often horrid things to the people you love most, and therefore often people don't know how to then respond in a way that means that they would actually listen to the psychotic experience and get all tangled up into a very sort of difficult situation, when in actual fact keeping it very honest and open and treating somebody as an equal without getting too confused by the psychotic experience is a really important first step. Practice talking to people in, as I said, so that you feel that they're still your equal, because they are. They just, they're having a difficult time, but they've not stopped being your brother or your sister. They still want to be your brother and your sister, but they just at the moment having difficulty communicating that to you. It's much easier to appreciate what you do together if you're actually using direct communication than actually perhaps doing the complementary things. So in actual say, I've really appreciated coming out with you today, because actually I've really liked just being in your company. And that's meant, and actually then the important point is to say what the benefits it's been to you, not to them, because often you will say, do you know it would be good for you to go swimming? Well, in this instance, what I would suggest to brothers and sisters to say is, I've really appreciated going swimming with you because I haven't had that opportunity to be with you for some time. The other important thing is, don't let them forget about you. Because often brothers and sisters do get forgotten, and in the height of a crisis that often can be the case. So it might be that you want to use those same basic communication skills around saying, this is what I would like, as well as, I can see that my sibling has got the limelight at the moment, but I'd really appreciate some time with you as well. Don't forget that you'll also be nursing your own concerns. So it's about finding out, asking where to get some more support, where perhaps some local carer groups are. Perhaps look into where the sibling support is for you. It's becoming much more now recognised that you have needs in your own right. Don't give up your own dreams just because your brother and sister will need you to be that, because the last thing they will want to do is feel any guiltier about bringing mental illness into the family.